Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Parker, go by One Who Parks on Discord.
And this is Josh, go by Grumazog on Discord.
Welcome back, everybody, for another amazing episode of Infamous.
So amazing.
I'm gonna save our little bit of news for the MCP cast because it's technically MCP related, but I kind of wish Josh was going to be there for that because you're not doing the MCP cast.
No.
Okay.
I have been chugging Dayquil and NyQuil and need to go to sleep, so.
Okay, I heard that very differently. The NyQuil clued me into what you actually said. Parker, you heard it too, didn't you?
I heard
what did you think
dick.
I said? Oh,
I've been chugging dick all day and night is what I
you
heard.
have caught me. I've just been sucking the hog for 24 hours.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that.
No,
but
teach their own,
just
dude, you know?
surprising that you admitted it.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, we'll jump into our normal media topics. Anybody doing anything new? Anybody playing any new fun games on TV?
I have been enjoying Trench Crusade quite a bit. That's about it.
No, media. We're doing media.
Media? Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing in person. This is all digital nonsense.
Yeah.
I caught the tail end of a horrific true crime documentary that was on Netflix.
Okay.
About a mother that bullied her own child, and it was terrible.
That sounds like the movie 43 skit, but Parker, you remember that one about the couple that homeschool their kid, but they're like really extreme about it?
No, I don't.
You don't remember this? Oh my god!
Is this a setup to a dad joke? It sounds like you're
No. It's
Parker.
It absolutely sounded like it was.
Yeah. It's the movie's called Movie 43, and the actor that's in The Bear, I believe it is, plays the son in the skit. But the whole movie 43 is basically a big string of shorts, and they're all comedy shorts. And then the plot of the movie is basically this random dude impersonates a screenwriter and gets his way onto a movie set, and then holds a producer at gunpoint, trying to force him to make his movie, but he's just deranged psycho. And so he starts originally just pitching him these ideas for movies, and that's why it's in the short format. And so he's like, all right, so here's my idea. And he starts talking him through it. And so it plays the skit while he's talking him through it. And then he's like, this is stupid. Why would we ever make that into a movie? He's like, well, here's my next idea. And he just keeps going through ideas. And eventually the guy's like, get out of my office. You're crazy. And he pulls a gun on him. And then they do more shorts for the rest of the movie.
I actually super liked that film.
It was really, really funny.
It was like, I don't think I could go back and watch it, but the first time I watched it, I was just like, what the fuck is happening? This is so wild.
There are so many people in this movie.
It's like Celebrity the movie, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. There's hundreds of people.
What's the name of this movie?
Movie 43.
Yeah, because I was going to say, isn't it, what's his name? Dennis Quaid, is that it?
So it's got both people from Kick-Ass, Jeremy White and then Chloe Moretz. Then it's got Hugh Jackman, Kate Winslet, Chris Pratt, Gerard Butler, Anna Faris, Emma Stone, Johnny Knoxville, Seann William Scott, Naomi Watts.
Oh my god,
everybody.
So
Dennis Quaid.
I was like, Dennis Quaid
Terrence
is
Howard.
The crazy guy, right?
Yeah, he's the crazy guy, yeah. God, there's so many people. Kirsten Bell, Elizabeth Banks. Justin Long is in...
Each story had a different director. That's crazy.
Jason Sudeikis is in it. There's hundreds of really famous people in it. Halle Berry's in it. She's got one of the crazier parts.
I think that was my favorite skit that I can remember.
I didn't like that one as much. It was funny, but I think one of my favorites is probably the one where they homeschool their kid. But like it can complete the homeschool experience. They wanted a traditional high school experience, so they like bully the fuck out of their own kid, and like they psychotically break their child. Like it's fucking nuts. You have to watch it. It's so crazy. Anyway, I didn't mean to totally derail what Josh was talking about. So you watched a true crime on parental bullies.
Yes. And the mom went to prison at the very end. So
yeah, that makes sense. The only true crime thing I've ever seen that I found shocking was so beyond the pale that I won't even repeat a single aspect of it on the podcast. It was the darkest thing I've ever heard. I was like, oh my god, like this, like true evil people do exist. This guy is way off the rails.
Yeah.
Like I can't even imagine a person like being able to convince themselves to do this.
The only thing I've learned from true crime is that you can actually just commit crime. And there's a very good chance they'll never catch you.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little different now because there's cameras and stuff everywhere, but, like, when they, like...
It's a lot harder
okay,
now. Like,
viewers,
like
please do not commit crime. Yeah. But, yes, in the 80s, people just committed
you
crime.
Killed 1,000 people, nobody would have found you.
And the cops were like, huh, well, it's got to be somebody. I guess we'll wait for him to slip up. And the guy's like, I don't know, I'm a high-functioning sociopath. I'm going to get 150 before I slip up.
What's that? It's that John Mulaney joke where it's like in the 40s.
Detective,
and 50s,
we found a whole lot of blood in the hallway. Gross. Clean that shit up. Back to my hunch.
Like they used to, when they would like do terrible things, they would announce themselves by name and just say, if anybody asks, make sure you tell them it's Daniel Suggs of the Suggins Gang, and then they'd like shoot Suggs in the side of the building with a Tommy gun.
Tommy gun their name into the wall,
and they
still got away with it.
And law enforcement would be like, "What do we do?" Like it's so fucking weird.
Back in the day, yeah, unless there was like 3 eyewitnesses, you were basically considered innocent.
Yeah. I don't know if it's that. I think it was just like you said. There was, how do you find people, right? Like it was just.
Yeah, if in a world where there weren't even really roads that connected every city to city, you could just like go to a town, commit a crime, go 2 towns over, hop on the train 2 towns over, bam, they would never find you. You could make up a whole name.
In Django. There's like this like evil like killer / like cattle thief guy. He's just like, all he does is just like ride 6 hours west and change his name that he gives people. It's like, well, yeah, how are you supposed to tell who anybody fucking is? Like, all you do is lie.
Yep. My name's John Jonerson. Okay, cool.
Also,
you want to be our sheriff?
There is something really fascinating to me also about the outlaw, the protected outlaw, like how populace will like fall in love with outlaws and absolutely protect them from law enforcement. It's really bizarre to me, but it's happened so many times in history where famously people will start robbing banks and sometimes killing law enforcement, and they'll acquire this mythos, and oftentimes like the gentleman robber has been a thing, right? Like it's existed where a guy will be like, I'm going to rob this stagecoach. All of you guys are fine. If a cop show up, I will murder them instantly. But all you people riding the stagecoach, just stay there. You'll be fine. Like, would you like something? I'll get you something to drink. Like that kind of shit. Like that kind of thing happened, and it's such a bizarre concept to me. That you'll acquire this reputation of the good guy outlaw, the Robin Hood, right? The fact that story has been told over and over and over again. And so it means that, it made it even harder for law enforcement to find these people because sometimes they were actively being sheltered by these communities. So not only are they disconnected, but sometimes when you get there, the whole community will band together and say, nope, not here. It must be the next town. Like, crazy pants.
Plus, what always got me, too, is back in the day, they basically just used someone's description and then would have them draw you. Right? Like, at least in movies, so it's like, here's a wanted poster, and it looks exactly like them. It's like, I don't know about that.
Well, even if it did, you just, like, shave your mustache. And like, now my name's Bill.
Yeah.
It just makes you think how often back then people were, like, wrongly accused. Like, somebody's like, I don't like that guy. He robbed me. And you're like, no, I didn't. I mean, and you're like, what now?
That was literally the Salem witch trials. Was just a series of wrongful accusings to get
or you just
for
shoot
people
him
to
and say
get
I caught him trying to steal something, like whatever. Anyway, it is crazy. Like a lot of the like experts say, like if you wanted to get away with murder in like the early 80s and any time before that, basically just drive to a random city that you don't live in, kill someone and leave. They'll never find you. Like, and now like obviously we have DNA and cameras and there's all kinds of ways to catch people now. But back in the day, it was like almost impossible to get caught unless you killed someone you knew.
What blows me away now is that I was watching a big expose about how gene banks and DNA checking, just like I want to check their DNA to see what kind of ancestry I have and who am I related to. That is now allowing people to solve ancient cold cases because not even the murderer has to put their DNA in one of those banks.
Familial matches,
yeah, right. So you're just like my third cousin twice removed, somebody I've never heard of ever, pops up in a bank, and then all of a sudden they can go, wait a minute, and then they can start to cross-reference that stuff.
Because a lot of times they have DNA of the person, but they don't know who it belongs to.
Right, it doesn't match anything.
You left your DNA at the scene, but because in your personal life you've never had your DNA taken and had your name attached to it is the problem. Right. And so when then your second cousin goes to 23andMe, and then they go, wait, this person is like two steps removed from this sample we have, and then they go and pull up the suspect list and go, oh, one of our suspects is the second cousin of this person.
Right.
Warrant. And then that's how Mikey got caught. Didn't you hear about this, Parker?
Mikey?
Well, I'm trying not to use his real name, but
okay, go ahead.
Person that we know, this happened to.
Oh, wow.
And is in prison now for basically ever. You don't remember this? This happened last year.
I don't remember this.
Okay. Former War Machine player, lived in the state of Texas.
Oh, yes.
Mike. Yeah.
Okay, yes. Now I remember this.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of his someone that he's related to did 23andMe, and immediately he got arrested for murder.
Yeah, I remember this now.
So yeah, that really happens.
It is.
That guy was always a jerk. All right. Anything else? You guys do anything else? Play any new games?
New games. I'm trying to think if I started any new video games. I still have a lot of stuff sitting on my back burner. I haven't yet touched. Oh no, what was the thing that made Jeremy so mad that I bought on Steam sale for nothing, and I can't remember. Gloomhaven. Yeah, I haven't played Gloomhaven yet. I'm gonna do that soon. And I'm waiting very patiently to play. When Druid comes out of the, I can't remember. Why can't I remember the title of any of these games? Clearly,
you can't remember anything, Parker. This entire episode has been Parker forgets thing. Brandon reminds us.
It's the names of shit I'm starting to lose, and it makes me really frustrated. Like I can remember all this random factoid bullshit, but I can't remember like the proper noun for this thing.
I feel your pain, Parker. I can literally remember nonsense from decades ago, and I'm just like, I forgot the word for, I don't know, something or the other. It's just like, this is frustrating. Like, I know that word exists, and I know it, and I cannot find it in my memory.
A student came into me, came into my classroom the other day, and walked up to me and said, have you taught chemistry? I go, yeah, it's been, a long time ago. Insert 18 years here, right? I didn't tell them that. It's been a long time ago. And they said, well, I got this chemistry homework, could you help me out? And I was like, oh yeah, this is stoichiometry. And they go, what? And I was like, yeah, this is stoichiometry. They go, oh, my teacher didn't call it that. And so I remember that fucking word. Like from 18 fucking years ago teaching chemistry, I remember stoichiometry, but I can't remember the name of a video game I just played like 4 months ago. Fuck. But anyway, I'm literally just waiting to play games once I feel like I'm done. I have to wear myself out hard on a game before I move on to even an old one.
Yeah. I've finished up I didn't finish it, but I've gotten so far in Meet Your Maker that I'm kind of at the point of diminishing returns now. It was very fun. I am still playing it, but basically what I'm doing now is like daily type stuff. Like I'm logging in, doing the daily tasks, building up resources, and then logging out. Mm-hmm. I went back and started doing Hogwarts Legacy again, which is
nice.
Fun. The plot is kind of just whatever, but I do like the wandering around Easter egg stuff, and so that's what I've kind of focused on lately. Is I'm going around trying to 100% different tasks. Like I went around, I did all the Merlin trials. Now I'm trying to get all of the what is it called? The logbook stuff. Your like journal. I'm trying to max out all that stuff.
That's actually where I stopped when I was playing that.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But I mean,
there's hundreds and hundreds of things to do.
Let's see. Let me check real quick. I put in 67 hours pretty much continuously, just every chance I got. And then I was like, I hit that part where it's like, yeah, you got to go find all the little knickknacks. It's like, I don't think I want to. I think I need a break from this game.
Yeah. So the problem I have is there's so many. Once you get to the point where you have most, it's like, well, I don't know which ones I don't have.
Yeah.
And so it's like the little page things that like you can't see. You have to just go to the right spot and use your reveal spell. Like that's the stuff I'm struggling with because I don't know which ones I've done and which ones I haven't done. So I can't just like look up the couple hard ones. So I'm just wandering around continually trying to find them.
Which house are you, Brandon?
Slytherin.
You're Slytherin.
And so, yeah, I was going to choose Ravenclaw, obviously, because it's the best. But
agreed.
But then I was like, I have to make a character.
Whoa! Shots fired.
Yeah, it's obviously the best.
I hope this has some sort of game benefit.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hufflepuff, but
are you a Hufflepuff? Ravenclaw is clearly superior in every way.
Which one is?
Ravenclaw is superior in every way.
Okay, is there some sort of game benefit for this? Is this what you guys are talking about?
No, there's functionally no difference. But there's the 4 houses. There's the house for brave people, that's Gryffindor. The house for smart people, that's Ravenclaw. The house for evil people, that's Slytherin. And the house for the people that don't fit in the first 3 groups. That is literally the 4 houses. So you want to be evil, courageous, or smart. That's your 3 choices.
It is a little odd that they assigned those, assigned those like qualities to the 4 houses.
Oh yeah, it's not like good storytelling. It's just what it is.
One of my favorite parts
is objectively the best one.
One of my favorite parts of the movies, and I haven't read. I read the 4th book, and I don't think I read the last book, and I don't actually know if it happened in the last book, but it does happen often in the movies because, like, children who are watching the movies like to see this happen. It's literally something bad will happen to the bad guy. All the Slytherin go boo. And you're just like, wait a minute, why are these children who were definitely just about to be murdered cheering for the murderers? This is so weird. Like, I don't care what side of like a moral argument you are. These kids are like fucking 13. Like, how are they like hard motivated for this? Maybe it's because
they're
like
brainwashed by their parents.
Yes, I guess
it's also for this movement. Yeah.
Right. Yes, I'm assuming it's because they're cheering for their parents, right?
They're just indoctrinated. Like, just imagine you have like children of, let's just say as an example, racist parents, and they teach their kids to be racist, and so then throughout their entire upbringing, they are encouraged. Well,
there is racism in the book. Like, that's a thing.
Exactly,
that's part of the Slytherin identity. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, and then the like part of the heartwarming part of the final book is like eventually most of the Slytherin class does turn and join the good guys.
Yes.
Right, and that's supposed to be like a big thing because for 6 or 7 books they've been hardline against you,
and
then
racist,
eventually it's like, well, even they admit that, like, okay, we're in the wrong here. Like, we need to correct our behavior.
Right.
And so that's like the whole point.
Yeah, I don't remember that detail, but it doesn't surprise me. I have, because I'm a big Harry Potter nerd, I've done just about every check that you can do on the internet, both official and otherwise, and I only ever get one house, and it makes me happy that I only ever get this house, because it's the house I would pick for myself. And it's not Hufflepuff.
Which one is it?
It's always Gryffindor. It's always Gryffindor. Yeah. And I don't do it because I identify with the main characters. I do it because I identify with the concept of Gryffindor. I wish the main characters weren't in it, but they're the heroes, and so they're in the hero house, which I think is kind of like
they're in the jock house. Gryffindor is not the hero house. It is the
they're in the loud house.
Yeah, it's absolutely the hero
There's
house.
There's the kids who can't read, but they can certainly play Quidditch well, and they put them in that fucking house.
I don't think that's the point of Gryffindor, but the point of Gryffindor is that it's where all the main characters go, right? Because they're supposed to all have, they all have these qualities.
The statement about the big 3 is they're all supposed to be in the other houses. Hermione is supposed to be Ravenclaw, Harry is supposed to be Slytherin, and Ron is supposed to be Hufflepuff.
Right.
But they're all 3 courageous enough to take action in dire situations, so they were all Gryffindor. Right. Gryffindor is like supersedes the other 3, which is why you consider it the heroes like group, because that's who they are. They're the people who take action.
Right. I think it's a really vivid world they made. Or she made, I guess they now at this point, because I don't know how much she actually gets to hold on to things like this, the video game. But I have stared at the video game a lot because the fantasy of being part of the actual universe is really vivid in my mind. It was a very well crafted universe.
It feels good. It does feel good to run around in the
well crafted may not be the word. Endearing. It's a very endearing world. Like you want to see yourself in it. I haven't played the game. It goes up on sale every once in a while on the live store, and every time I'm like, do I have enough time?
I got it for like $10 or $15 on sale,
right?
And it's 100% worth that just to wander around in the castle for an hour. Like it's so fun to just wander down the hallways and stuff. Because
I've heard the game was done well.
Mm-hmm. No, the game is actually great. The combat's really interesting. I think it's hard for me to ever say a game has a good plot because a video game plot is so often so terrible that like anytime there's a reasonably good storytelling, they act like it's amazing. But the plot was fine. But the game mechanics are really interesting. You basically have 4 hotkeys that cast spells, and then you have 4 bars of those that you can rotate through during combat. And then you also have a shield button and a couple other hotkeys that you can use that are non-combat spells. But so during combat, you'll be changing through these different bars to use different spells, and you can customize all of those out of combat. And so you're trying to set up like combos on particular bars. People can put up shields. There's basically 4 colors of spells. And so there's purple, yellow, white, and red. And then technically also green. And then certain people can put up shields that make them immune to everything but that color. So you have to utilize all the types of spells in combat to break through their shields. And also like be offensive while being defensive at the same time.
You can combo the spells as well.
Yes. So some of them do combo.
I always just do essentially force pull to me, and then I go, everything on near me is on fire. Congratulations.
Yeah. And so you can like levitate people, pull them towards you, throw them away, slam them back down to the ground. Like that could just be a set of 4 that you have. And then you can rotate to long range fire damage, close range fire damage, like explosion, scything spell, all kinds of stuff.
It is very satisfying to yeet people into the ground. It feels like their body like bounces. You're like, okay, this felt good.
So the character I made in the game is named Victor, and so he's in the greenhouse, and he cares a lot about being really strong. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys know who that is. But yeah, you get to learn the unforgivable curses if you want, which at the timeline of the game, because it takes place, I want to say like 100 years ago.
Yes.
At the time, they weren't illegal. They were just heavily frowned upon, and then they become illegal later. And so as a kid, you can start learning these, and like they do exactly what they do in the books. So it's like, I'm going to cast Imperio on this enemy. He's now on my side. And then you just have like a friend troll who's fighting all the other people with you. Or you can just cast the Killing Curse and just murder people straight out.
Damn.
Anyway.
Did you ever get around to those Lord of the Rings ones?
I played them a little bit. I plan on going back to them still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm waiting before.
Part of it for me was I didn't have time to commit to doing the whole storyline because I could tell it was going to be a longer grind.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to finish up what I was already doing before I got to them.
I'm waiting to buy a controller before I play them because I think they'll just play better with a controller than mouse and keyboard.
Interesting.
Same reason I'm waiting to play God of War and God of War Ragnarok. I'd just rather have a controller for it.
I don't think I've ever played a game ever and wanted a controller instead of a mouse and keyboard.
I
can't think of any.
No, because those are like, I guess I did it all right in Harry Potter, but like hack and slash games, I feel like I'd rather have a controller just for better control and aim and all those things. Might be a personal choice. I don't know if it actually be better.
I'm
because
sure
I know like if you play shooters, quote quote, competitively, they use mouse and keyboard, right? Like no one's out there playing with a controller.
Yeah, at the highest level, no.
Yeah,
but I see that the trend tends to be people that have played controllers a really long time will get into some mouse and keyboard stuff, but then prefer a controller in some games. But nobody who has played mouse and keyboard the whole time tries to go into controller. Like, it's always a one-way like transition. And nobody's going the other way.
And see, I think that would make sense because, like, I got my N64 when I was 6 years old. And I didn't even play any mouse and keyboard games until I was 19, if not later. And I always like saved up to buy myself a PlayStation or something. So I just always played controller. So it's comfy.
You used to play track.
I did used to play League of Legends with a trackball, and I was good at it. I was very good at it.
I could see that at least. Like trackball in that game would work, but
that'd be like fun to try. I've never heard of that. That makes
sense. For whatever reason, I think it was just because it was on sale. My dad bought a trackball for our like family computer that we had growing up, and so if I played things on there, if like that's all I had was the trackball. It's pretty much the only thing I played was League of Legends, I guess. So
I have played, the only games I've ever played on a mouse and keyboard are precisely only ones that I felt it would be just better to click on objects, and always top-down games. So like Diablo style games or strategy games.
Yeah.
And every other game, if I have to move my character personally and I'm either over his shoulder or in his eyes, I really want to play with a controller. And even then, I have played some top-down strategy games on controller and been perfectly satisfied. Just kind of have to get used to it. They've done a really good job, actually, of porting a lot of games that you would never imagine on a controller to a controller, and it didn't feel that terrible. But like playing StarCraft on a controller, I don't know how people do it. I know they do, but I would not appreciate it. I like that kind of game. When there's that much micro and macro control, I really appreciate a keyboard. But
I have no idea how that would work, but I can say that the highest end people that play like the quick twitch RTSs don't really use their mouse anyway. They're just using a keyboard because it's really just a keyboard game.
Yeah, like
you might occasionally click on the screen to tell your unit where to go, but you're just like hotkey this, hotkey that. You're just basically typing a text document, but you're playing StarCraft.
I love Warcraft 3. And there is a guy. What's that streamer's name, CJ? Happy? Grubby. Some Dutch mad lad dude. And it's crazy to watch him play Warcraft 3. Because he's just like, it just sounds like he's just punching every key on his keyboard. He's just, and he's clicking like 100 clicks per minute or something wild. Like, it is crazy to watch someone who, like me, who like casually plays Warcraft 3 against someone who's been the top or like the highest in the highest ranks. I was like, I don't know, is that even fun? Like you're not even like I build up my little squad and I run it over and I fight and he's like,
oh yeah, you don't watch the combats. All you're doing is macroing. It's like I'm building units, I'm sending them to this area of the map, and they do what they do. And then occasionally, when there's a big battle, I'll like go in and look. But most of the fights, they're not even watching. They're just like, all right, I'm losing here. I know I'm going to lose. Retreat, and then they scroll away.
It's crazy.
I did watch. It was I think the national or like the world tournament for StarCraft one year, and there was this one guy who plays Zerg. And he was, I guess, really famous. And they were talking about him a lot in the tournament. And they were talking about one of the things he did to prepare for the tournament was he was scrimming versus 4 different people. And he was just doing a 4v1 with Zerg against 4 other players. And he was beating them consistently. Like it wasn't even close. They were getting steamrolled by one guy. I was like, that's insane.
That's crazy.
You have to be moving so fast.
Have you ever seen the wrists of some of those old, like professional StarCraft 2 players?
Mm-mm.
So a lot of the South Korean ones, it's the only ones I ever saw, but they have straight up calluses down their wrist from where they were like sitting playing the computer for so long, and then you're just constantly moving your mouse and like doing stuff.
Oh yeah,
and they just have a callus, and I was like, that's wild.
All right, since Aaron's not here and he won't get mad, let's talk anime.
Anime.
Parker, there's so many shows are coming out this year. Are you excited?
I am. I think I haven't gone to the theater for a movie I've been excited about in a while. Did
you go see Infinite Castle?
Yeah. Is that already come out? Am I too late?
I think when it says on Crunchyroll that it's in theaters, I think they mean it's in theaters in Japan. I don't think it's in that many theaters here.
Oh.
They do sometimes get to theaters in the US, but I think the only one I've seen recently was one of the My Hero movies made it to like AMC. But that was about it.
Nope. Yep. There's got some Cinemarks here and some B&Bs here. It's limited showing, so it's not a ton of showtimes, but there are a few. It looks like it comes out September 11th, so not too long. So yeah, I actually think I might go out to see that. Although I'll be really mad. I need to find out. Oh, good, subtitled in English. Yeah. Apparently they also have some dubbed ones you can watch, but I don't want that shit. I want to. I think I watched the whole show subtitled, so I would really enjoy that. I think I would. Yeah, I might actually. I do not ever get out to watch movies anymore, but I might go out to watch this one probably by myself.
So my question is: this just the season, and it's just released in movie form? Because isn't that what they did for Mugen Train? Is there was the movie version, and then there was the season version where it was just cut up into episodes.
I thought the Mugen Train was a movie, right?
Yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah. I watched it as
they sliced
episodes. I watched it as episodes.
Let me see.
Because that's what I was doing. I was like, oh, I know this movie's going to come out. I'll just wait.
There's also a couple. I want to say it's One Piece that has like 3 movies. They're just sections of seasons, but they just cut out all the filler bits and just made it into a movie.
Okay, so it says here that it's the first one that's coming out here in September is 2 hours and 35 minutes. The film is the first of a planned trilogy that adapts the final major arcs of the manga.
Okay.
So it's really long. 2 hours and 35 minutes is a long anime movie.
That's a long movie, but that's not crazy for anime at all.
It says it's one of the longest for any anime film ever. But.
Yes, but like as far as watching a season of anime, 2.5 hours.
Oh no, versus a season, no. So it'll be 3 of those basically, is what they're saying.
Yeah, so like for me, I feel like I should just wait for it to come out and then watch the whole thing. Right?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Like it feels like going and paying movie theater prices to watch a third of a season of anime seems silly. But it would be a fun experience.
My roommates have Crunchyroll, so I know I just wait until it comes out.
I mean, I have a really good friend that has Crunchyroll as well. He's a stupendous fella. But I don't think I would go to see any anime in theaters, but I feel like this one might be worth a big screen and a good sound system. I think I might really enjoy it. I wouldn't go see a Frieren movie because as pretty as that show is, it's very quiet and it's not super dynamic. I'm lying. There are some episodes that are amazing, but I don't think I would be as impressed as I will be by this. I think I would probably. Really
I think you like Demon Slayer more than most people I know, so I think it makes sense. But I think the My Hero movies. Have you seen those?
Surely? No, wait, no, I have not seen the My Hero movies.
There's
I have
3.
Not. I know, I have not seen them.
I think you would really like watching those in a theater.
I probably would. I've seen clips because the internet spoils everything. I've seen clips.
Right.
So I know of them. But yeah, the last movie I think I saw in theaters was either Top Gun or Dungeons and Dragons. Because I know I saw both. I don't know which one came out last. And I was super pleased with both. I was very happy. I decided I was just going to stop going to Marvel movies because I'm not excited anymore. But those I really enjoyed those.
Speaking of, I finally got to see Thunderbolts.
Okay, so I just saw it's up on my Disney. I haven't seen it yet.
Disney Plus.
I have not. Yes, I just saw
I liked it. It wasn't great. It was better than Black Widow. Worse than Civil War. So take that for what you will. Okay. Actually, it's worse than Civil War.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Is it the best Marvel movie since Endgame? What's come out? Oh, no, because Guardians 3 came out. Guardians 3 is probably better.
Guardians 3 is
I like Guardians 3. I don't even consider Guardians 3 as part of the post-Endgame universe because I feel like it just finished the trilogy, which was obviously a trilogy. So I don't even count it. That movie could have been made at any time. It happened to be made in the chronology afterwards, so there's some things that tie into the Endgame or the post-Endgame.
Okay, here we go. I would probably put it in the same realm as Multiverse of Madness. Probably worse than that. I'm just looking through the list of.
I see. I didn't like Multiverse of Madness that much, so
and that's why I like the parallel, because it's kind of an out of left field movie. It doesn't have the same tone as the other Marvel movies.
Okay.
The Black Widow didn't either. Yeah, it's worse than Spider-Man 3, worse than Guardians 3, but better than all the random ones.
The internet just told me something while I was looking for this thing coming out. The internet realized I was looking. Fallout Season 2.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. So
I'm
excited.
a little disappointed they are drip feeding it, because last time I had a full watch party. I had a couple people over and we made like a shit ton of snacks and just watched whatever it was, 8 hours of Fallout straight in a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
It was very enjoyable. And this time they're doing it week by week, which is not my ideal way to watch television, but probably is the better way to do it. Because then I'll actually do it instead of like... Right now I'm like 7 or 8 shows behind. And I'm like, I should really get around to those. And it's like, well, that's 10 hours of television. So find time for that.
Okay, so in the next 6 months, we're getting My Hero's the final season. We're getting JJK season 3.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there's more. The final season of Fire Force, but I'm not watching that anymore. Just scrolling through. There's so many good ones.
Fear in season 2.
Fear in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
What's that terrible one we talked about that one time?
Overlord. Was supposed to have another. Was season 5 Overlord was supposed to be out reasonably soon?
Oh yeah.
Solo Leveling season 3. Did you see, Parker, that they increased the animation budget of Solo Leveling season 3 by $2 billion?
What the fuck? That's a lie. That's gotta be internet lie.
Google it. It's true. It's 100% true. Unfortunately, that's yen, which is only about $1.5 million.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, there we go. I was like,
I read that, and it's a clickbait article, and I read the fine print. And I went, oh, okay, that makes more sense. But that's still
$1.5 million.
Of seeing 2 and then like 100 zeros. Like, what the fuck?
Allegedly,
so much money.
One Punch Man season 3, I think.
No, I said that earlier.
That will never happen.
No, it's like done.
Nope, I don't believe you.
It's gonna happen.
Because if it happened, then I could die. Because that's all I need.
I love One Punch Man.
It comes out October 5th. It's less than a month away.
Oh God!
How did that sneak up on me like that?
I gotta be ready.
What a giant blind spot in my pop culture knowledge. I just assumed it would never happen, and that I would never get to see that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... You have to put One Punch Man in that category of, like, I just have to not expect more, or else I'll get annoyed. Yeah. This is the same thing that happened with Attack on Titan. It's like, I have to just assume it's never going to end, because it's going to be forever. Speaking of, I finished rewatching Attack on Titan. So fucking good.
Coleman gets some good girl.
What'd you say?
I was talking to my cat. Sorry.
Oh.
She is ready for bed, and so she keeps coming over and like clawing my side, and then she wanders about 5 yards away, and then turns around and looks at me. It's like, hey.
Parker, did you see that One Piece released a timeline for their upcoming story arcs?
Mm-mm.
They have through 2033
That's
planned out.
Crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
And they like...
Here, I'll look at it.
Don't they do like... Because I've only ever back-watched One Piece, so I've never been when it's like current. Don't they do like 3 months of episodes every week, and then it's like 3 months of break? Because it's not...
To my knowledge, normally they just animate every week. I think it's like an every week show.
That's crazy.
How did you think they got to 1,200 fucking episodes?
They started in 1997. I don't know.
Yeah, do the math. There's only 52 weeks a year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, let's see. Let's just do 1150 divided by 52. Let's see. That's 22 years.
Yeah. I guess
that's 22 years of not missing a week.
That's probably true.
And we're past that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And it's not even the longest running one, is it?
it is the longest running effective anime. The only ones that are longer are like not technically, like they're technically correct, but not really. I think the longest running one is a German like Saturday cartoon, but it's like a weekly cartoon it's just been running for 30 years, so it has like 19,000 episodes.
Yeah.
But it's like Looney Tunes kind of stuff. It's not anime. There's no storyline. It's just like cartoon. Yeah, of the actual ones that you can really count, it's basically One Piece.
That's mind-boggling. My mind is bottled.
Yeah.
I have a student who told me that they're just going to start watching all of One Piece. And I was like, you're not going to wait for like the newer stuff where they kind of abridge things? They go, nah. And I was like, and I thought about it for a second. I was like, yeah, I guess like a 13-year-old probably has that kind of time. Like,
well,
it's probably not impossible. Right. Well, but what does he care? He doesn't know what's good or bad. He just, things just pass in front of his eyes.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying there's so much better content for a 13-year-old nowadays versus like then. Like, when Naruto and One Piece were the only thing on, then yeah, I could see watching it, but not anymore.
You know what made me laugh? I was helping my parents clean their basement the other day, and I found my tape that I used to use to tape Naruto every night, and had it all set up so that I could like go to bed and not miss the new episode or whatever. I was like, man, nowadays we would have loved streaming back then. There was none of that. Do you like One Punch Man, Parker? Was that the vibe I got?
I love One Punch Man.
Okay, because I love One Punch Man, and I've seen the first season at least 7 or 8 times. Like, I generally don't watch much anime, and I love One Punch Man. It is exactly like my humor. It's just super absurdist nonsense.
One Punch Man is great, but it's kind of like the whole reason it exists is it's satire on anime.
Yeah, exactly.
It's making fun of anime. Yeah.
My favorite kind of content, and I guess we've never had a chance to talk about this, but all of my favorite kind of content, regardless of genre, is homage spoof. I really, really love when a creator of any content picks something that they obviously love, right? And then creates an homage to it, which also kind of reveals what it actually is, right? It's not a mirror darkly, it's a mirror brightly, right? Like, it's clear that the people who make One Punch Man love action anime, right? They love it and they love everything about it because they made this thing that is clearly knows itself and yet also is itself. And so, like, my favorite movie of all time is Hot Fuzz, the movie Hot Fuzz, and it's that, right? It is a cop movie that is an homage to cop movies, and at the same time makes fun of cop movies, right? Because it knows exactly what it is, and then executes exactly what it is. The line in the movie is like, "You haven't seen Bad Boys 2?" Like, that's, and then the movie is just Bad Boys 2 for the last like 30 minutes, and it's just like it asks the question and then answers the question, right? Like, if you haven't seen it, here it is. And so I love that kind of movie, or any kind of content that knows itself and does it exactly. Because clearly you wouldn't be able to do it unless you had this intense appreciation for it. And I love that kind of crafting. That crafting is really intricate and difficult. One of my favorite... I found this thing on YouTube the other day. I'm just now realizing it's the same thing. I loved it, and I watched it 3 times, and I showed my wife. She's like, I don't get it. The guy... The name of the video is like the best TED animation ever. So they took, like, those TED Talk animations, and he just made one that is one, but also clearly not one, because it uses every one of those tropes that those TED Ed animations use, but it's nonsense, right? It's trying to educate you about this, like, math problem with this really weird hypothetical situation, but the hypothetical situation just grows into nonsense, but it sounds like it's solvable the entire time. And at one point, after like 15 minutes in, he says, now you can pause the video and see if you can determine how to like solve the problem. You're like, this is total fucking nonsense. And the whole time I was just laughing and just so enraptured, because I was like, this guy clearly understands and watches all of these TED animations, clearly loves them, and has made this. That's my favorite kind of content. So yes,
Okay.
One Punch Man might be my favorite anime of all time. I don't think it's the best one, but it is my favorite one, probably because of that.
You'll never have a bad time watching One Punch Man. It's almost impossible to hate it. So I found the timeline. So the Egghead arc, which is what's currently happening, and that's what happened when they went on their break. It's been happening since about 2020, late 2024, maybe early 2025.
This is One Piece again, right?
One Piece, yeah. Okay. And so that's gonna run through the end of the year, and that's gonna be the Egghead arc. Then in 2026, they're gonna start the Elbath Land of Giants arc. That will run through 2028. Then in 2029, they're going to start the Road to Laugh Tale. And so, when did One Piece start? One Piece release dates. Came out October 20th, 1999. All right. So, in 2029, they're going to start the Road to Laugh Tale. The entire point of the show is to get to Laugh Tale. It only took them 30 years to fucking get there.
Yep, that sounds exactly.
That's not get there. That's when they start the arc, and so that's going to start in 2029, run through 2034.
They're still writing One Piece manga, right? Like it's not.
Yeah, no, it's caught up. Like they're running. It's like one will come out and it'll be animated like a month later.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 2034, they're going to start the epilogue, which is called Dreams Realized. And then the epilogue will run in 2034. Then we've got in 2032, they're going to start the final war chapters. And that will run through 2033.
100 years of One Piece.
Yeah.
Then
100 years.
He starts the prequel and does it all over again.
It's very funny. Okay. Let's see. Anyone who hasn't watched Attack on Titan twice, I highly recommend to rewatch. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that is interesting seeing it the second time, but it gives you a whole new way you look at it after watching it once. Parker, didn't you finish it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you not watched it twice?
I have not watched it twice, and like I said, last week I said it. I felt like I watched two different shows because I watched like
it is two different shows. Yeah.
I felt like I watched like the first 2, maybe 3 seasons, and then it was like multiple years before I watched the second. I probably should have watched the whole thing again. I'm sure if I watched the whole thing again now, it would be a different experience. There's
a time skip in the show that coincides with the time skip from animation, but it is meant to feel like a completely different show, and it definitely does. But yeah, I think the seasons 1, 2, and 3 are pretty like feel kind of the samey, but then season 4, which is technically like, but it's like the whole fucking rest of it because they cap season 4 with 2 hour-and-a-half long movies, and so it's like so fucking long, and so much shit happens, and there's so many characters you don't remember from before. But there's the feeling you get in watching seasons 1 through 3 of Attack on Titan is like, I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm very confused all the time. Everything is intrigue based. And then rewatching it with all the information is so different because it's like watching a documentary the second time. Because you don't feel any of the intrigue. It's all gone because you know what's happening. Because they actually give you all the information you need as long as you have like the one missing cipher. Once you have like the cipher, you rewatch the show and everything they're saying makes sense the whole time. As opposed to it being like nobody knows what's going on. It's a completely different experience the second time. I really liked it.
I need to finish.
I'm sorry, Parker hated
it the first time.
Oh, I didn't hate it.
That's what you said. You said you hated it. You don't remember?
I'm pretty sure I heard, I will burn this anime to the ground. Verbatim.
There is one part of that anime that, and I'm perfectly fine watching animes that don't have this, but I have always appreciated animes more that have some, what's the best way to put it? Comic relief is the way to put it. Like, I feel like Attack on Titan just didn't have comic relief. There was
it was definitely not lighthearted. It is very serious and heavy.
And I've always felt like in an anime, I just need at least a moment to go and kind of just relax. And those, and that showed that there is no of those moments. You're meant to feel tense and anxious. And I guess the only time that you feel like chill is when Eren is like in his coma phase, where he's just like stares blankly at things. Like that's like
he just Gen Z stares at or whatever. It's called.
Yeah, he does do that like a fair amount.
Yeah, there's some like comic relief moments, but they're brief, right? Because they don't want to take you out. So in my analogy, I think Attack on Titan is the Breaking Bad of anime, where it's like it's best experienced in like controlled short instances and not binged. Like you can binge it, but like it's going to be really heavy. You should watch it at a regular pace, like one episode a week, and then just keep experiencing it. As opposed to, I'm going to watch 100 episodes in a weekend. Like, that's probably not the way to go. But you can if you have the resilience.
Did you guys watch Vinland Saga at all?
I have not yet. It's on my list.
I have not.
I've heard a lot of good things.
It's very Attack on Titan-y, where it's very serious.
Dark.
The whole time, dark. I want to say it's like the same people that did Attack on Titan, like at least the same animation studio. But I felt like it had more. There are more lighthearted moments that kind of don't stress you out the whole time you're watching it.
So I know Parker also really likes solo leveling.
I have not.
I also like
that yet.
Everyone likes solo leveling, right? It's fun, but the whole reason it's like all the empty calories. It's like all the dessert piled on a plate.
It is
like,
white bread.
Nothing matters. It's the most shallow anime I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but that's fine because like One Punch Man has deeper character building than solo leveling.
Really?
Does, and it's a satire show.
Yeah.
No, it's just 100% murder porn is solo leveling, with some cool music. Like that's exactly.
The music is wonderful everywhere.
It's great
because
but it's really fun. But you just have to understand it has no meaning behind it. It's just empty calories. It's just frosting.
So,
but it's great.
What's funny is that's like almost the reverse switch of Vinland Saga. The first season is just
like nothing happens.
Rip. No, it's just
heavy.
It's just rip and tear. It's just and you're like, all right, this is rad. And then you get to the second season, and there is no fucking violence for like 12 episodes, and it's just people being sad, talking in rooms. And I was like, this is not what I wanted to watch. I was here to watch someone claim skulls. Like this is
interesting.
But like it's good. It's a very beautiful story. But the first season was so much of what I liked that when I got to the second season, I was like, I don't know. I think I have like 3 episodes left in it, and that's when he starts like they start fighting again. But
have you not watched Solo Leveling, Josh?
No.
Okay.
I need to.
You should watch Solo Leveling
because
you would like it.
Okay.
It is fun.
You would like it.
You want to talk about like Glory to Valhalla? That show is absolutely that. It's the closest route to the solution of all problems is excessive violence.
Lord of Valhalla?
100%. What's that?
What was it called?
No, I'm just saying, like, I know you appreciate just, like, violence. Just like, it looks like the most direct solution is violence. Like, that is the solution that everyone chooses in that show. Everyone just chooses violence
you've sold
as quickly
me.
as possible.
That's exactly what I'm trying to watch.
Yeah.
No, you should 100% watch Solo Leveling. You'll love it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't like it. When I criticize it and say it has no substance, that's not a dig. It's just a fact.
I don't need substance. I need beautifully animated violence.
Right. You know what bothers me about this? Kind of bothers me about the show is after watching that show, I kind of asked myself, why didn't every other action anime just do this? Because a lot of action animes will spend like maybe 2 episodes of really slow character building and just showing you scenery, which is kind of a Japanese motif, right? And but that show is just like, all right, this episode we're going to set up this really, really powerful villain. This episode he's going to fight the main character for 5 minutes of just the most wrist-breaking animation you've ever seen. I know we just introduced him, but that bad guy is going to die already. You're just like, because we introduced him. And like, it blows my mind how often they kill bad guys in the show that they set up as world-ending threats, right? And not always the world-ending, but at least the character-ending, right? Like, the gravitas of the show is constantly this really big thing, and yet also we fight it. We fight it now.
That's what I was actually going to point out. Is I think the thing that is so exceptional about the show is how, with basically no character investment, they make everything so tense.
Yeah.
They do a really good job of building tension without making you buy into like empathy first. And so, like, and there's enough, like, you know the main character, you know people that are close to him, but, like, it's not like every other anime where they spend an entire season, like you said, building up their connection with these other people before you care about them. It's like, they don't ask you to care about them. They just put you in an intense situation and hope that you care, and you do.
One of the things that I noticed about the show is in the action sequences, they do a really interesting job of utilizing time, like time and frames, where they will, like kind of what you said, like they build tension. So there'll be like a 5-minute fight, but significant portions of that 5-minute fight will be where they take a single second and stretch it out to like 5 or 10. And in that moment, it transmits a huge amount of visual information. Unlike some anime where that pause is like literally dubbed over with somebody's voice going, "Oh, if my opponent chooses to do this," which kind of destroys the moment, right? It doesn't feel tense anymore because the character has time to fucking monologue about their next sword strike or whatever. But this anime, that same thing happens where that moment stretches out, but instead you're just watching the character's face or the motion of the two like creatures, and you're just like, whoa, this is really intense. You don't have to tell me what they're thinking right now. It's really evident in this moment. That's one of the reasons why I think the show is so action packed and yet still feels like you're watching a story and not just Dragon Ball Z where it's the same punch series every 5 minutes. It feels very different because they specifically take a fight and they draw out individual moments and transmit a huge amount of information in those moments, and you give a shit. It's very well done.
I was talking with Connor about this recently, and he was complaining about one of the live action animes and that they adapted to live action, and it's obviously will never be as good as the animated version. And he's one of the people that like is excited when they announce these things. I'm like, I originally was very excited, and then I like took a step back and looked at it, and now I hate them. I hate live action animes because you can never get what you wanted out of it, right? Like with good voice acting and drawing, you can accomplish any, visual acting that you could have had on a live screen. But the thing you can't do is exactly what you just described. You can't do the like super tense moments in fights in the same way, and that it's that artistic license they can take when you have control over the speed of time, and they can just like, let's just basically freeze frame, and I can either describe the situation to you, I can run through what the person is thinking, you can like drag that moment out even if you don't do anything with it other than extend the time period. That's stuff you can't do in live action. And even if you could manage to do it with crazy technology and lots of effort, it's so much more expensive that it's so cost prohibitive that it would never work. And so I now am super against live action animes.
Yeah, I'm against live action anything that's been animated. I don't understand. I don't understand. I know Disney. I know Disney made a few dollars with it, and so that everybody wants to get in. But
that happened way later. No, we were getting live action versions of animes before we got any of the Disney stuff, I think.
Really? I'm pretty sure they started live actioning.
Yeah. No, like I saw the live action version of Bleach like 15 years ago. Like it's terrible. It's really fucking bad. Yeah, I think they teased like the live action Attack on Titan during like a fucking car commercial or something in Japan like 15 years ago. Anyway, so definitely watch Solo Leveling. Have you watched Jujutsu Kaisen, Josh?
I have not. That's another one the name rings a bell.
It's another super popular one right now. I think season 2 Jujutsu Kaisen is my favorite season of anime of all time. It is so fucking crazy. The shit they accomplish in a single season of that is more than like 15 years of Dragon Ball Z. Like they accomplish more, and it looks so much better, and is better written.
You have to be really cool with their style of world building, though, which some people, I can see how some people would just hate JJK. Like I tried to talk to a student with a JJK shirt on the other day, and I was like, "Hey, do you like JJK?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "What do you think about the way that they build their world?" He goes, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Well, they don't explain anything. Like there's a huge set of vocabulary and a huge set of concepts they don't explain. Like the ending of the last season, they reveal something and there's no way to know what it means in the context of the world. like it's a big reveal and a bunch of characters go, oh, really? And while I was watching it, I go, I don't fucking know what they're talking about. Like, am I supposed to know what they're talking about? And no, you don't. Nope, you don't know anything. And you're like, and they drop you into the world as if you've been living there for 20 years and you have all this social and cultural context. And some people love that method of storytelling and some people cannot stand it. And so I don't know what kind of person you are.
I will
Josh,
say that it is extremely fast paced, and so they don't take the time to explain every little thing. And a lot of the times you'll get the exposition during combat when it's relevant. But I think they do a okay job of telling you stuff. Like, it's not one of the animes where they keep you completely in the dark on stuff.
Josh, have you read the Dune books?
Yes. So
it would be like watching the Dune movies without having read any books.
Oh, so you just lose a ton.
Yeah, so my second watch of the JJK seasons, after I asked Brandon a whole bunch of questions about the lore and the mythos, was a really interesting watch because I was like, oh, that's what all those nouns meant. But like the first watch, I really struggled to pay attention. But not because, sorry, to pay attention. I really struggled to. I was constantly taken out of the narrative for the sake of the vocabulary.
Okay.
Because they reveal things and they're using English words that don't mean what I think.
I don't think you. Yeah, I think in the moment, a lot of times you won't realize how important the exposition that you got was,
right?
Because it won't become obvious for a couple episodes, and then you're like, "Why is this so important?" And then you go back and rewatch it. Oh, I just didn't understand how important what that guy was saying was, and I really should have listened to what he was saying. Yeah. But if you also just don't care about the importance of like the terminology, it's like you just watch it and it's really cool fights and stuff going on.
Oh, I think it was a purposeful choice. I think they absolutely they meant to drop you in to keep you off your feet. Right? That's
they wanted the pacing to be really fast. They want to take the time.
It's a narrative style to like. It transports you to a feeling of unfamiliarity, which the main character is also experiencing, right? Because he's being dropped into this world very suddenly also. And so I think it's on purpose. He's learning as quickly as you're learning. Also, his character is actually one where he doesn't care so much to know things. He just wants to know how...
He's very much punch his way through problems.
Right. And so like his lack of understanding is mirrored in your lack of understanding, and the fact that you don't understand the stakes of the situation just like he does, I think these are narrative choices. I don't think it's actually writing weakness or like plot holing. Mm-hmm. I think the writer is very aware of the world, but they're purposely not illuminating it all, and it's not because it's hidden from other characters, because clearly the characters understand everything. Only the watcher doesn't understand, which is just a style. It's just one way to do things.
It definitely is the idea of they'll figure it out in the moment. Like, let's just go, and it's like, don't stop, keep going.
Right. And and none of these things are a secret.
I think it is
world.
Fun. Yeah.
It's like
like
you. Yeah, it's fine.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, one of my favorite books I ever read was called Neuromancer, and it was one of the very first sci-fi books to do this, where it just drops you into a world, and it takes place on Earth in like the year 24 or something, and they're still speaking English, but it doesn't resemble our English at all. It's just it's fucking weird, and they speak it, and you literally can't understand any of the dialogue. Like some of the things are the same, but most things are completely different. So you just have to kind of, through context, slowly piece together what's going on. It's kind of a bizarre experience. Now, this is like an extreme example. JJK is not that extreme, but it's reminiscent of it. That it's clearly a choice by the author to make you feel really immersed in the world. So they don't take you out and do a 15-minute exposition every time they introduce a new concept. They just don't, which is something anime does a lot. They just choose not to.
Josh, did you ever watch Bleach?
No.
Okay.
I have a generalized concept of what it is and what it does. But.
No, it's fine. It's just, if you had, I think Jujutsu Kaisen is a extremely high-paced version of like a grim version of Bleach.
Okay.
And I think that's really cool. It's basically just Bleach, but done way better.
No, Bleach is one of those ones.
I would 100% agree.
Yeah. It has a ton of similarities. Mm-hmm. but the real point of the show is it's got like aspects of solo leveling where the point is to get into it as quickly as possible, like Parker's saying, but also like have the character building and the important substance of the relationship of different characters matter a lot. And I think they do a really good job of having a good blend of pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. Like you've got the dramatic moments, you've got the high action, you've got the pacing, you've got character development, you've got, intrigue, and it's all set in a world that's really cool. But like Parker said, they don't give you enough to feel like you're living in it. You kind of feel like a visitor. And so you always want to know more.
There's one thing that show does that I think is really interesting. You root for characters so hard in that show. Mm-hmm. Even though you don't always know exactly what they are or what they're capable of, like technically, you don't know their stats, right? But because there's no little bubble that says this guy uses this kind of attack or this guy uses this thing. But they do a really good job of character endearment. Like you really get endeared. Also, some of the bad guys, there are a few really shallow bad guys that don't get a lot of screen time. But if a character shows up for more than one episode, every single bad guy is round. Every single one is relatable, which I think is really interesting. It's an interesting choice.
Okay. We're running out of time, so let's jump into our Mojo world for this week. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This week on Mojo World, we have card games. For the purposes of what is allowed, we are going to take anything that is a card-based game in which you don't need anything else to play. And so we're taking out board games if it requires a board or anything like that. Okay. So Josh, you are going to go first this week due to the fact that you are a guest.
Okay. I am going to choose Munchkin.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I love Munchkin.
You stepped on a landmine.
Trying to think of a way that we can disqualify you and save face.
There is no way.
Is there any way we can kick this out? I've never played Munchkin personally, so is there anything else that is required?
Wait, what?
Yeah. There's like 100 different versions.
I know. I own 9 different Munchkin decks.
I think they're all just card game.
I think they're all just card based.
Card games.
Yeah. Okay.
But
all right.
I guess.
Now, Brandon,
if you've
never played it?
No. Why would I want to?
Well, that's the thing is you've always hated on it so hard. I assumed that you played it and been like, "Wow, this game is so bad." But you hated it so much you never even picked it.
I've played a lot of Steve Jackson games, but I've always refused to play specifically Munchkin.
That's interesting.
I got an entire fraternity and a sorority addicted to Munchkin my freshman year of college.
Munchkin is a gateway drug. Like, that's absolutely what it is. It gets people into that kind of game.
His next pick is Cards Against Humanity. I bet it is.
It is not, actually.
Oh, okay.
Cards Against Humanity is
not a game. It is not a game.
Love Cards Against Humanity.
It is an activity. Anyway, I can rant about it later, but let's go ahead and get back to the picks. So my first pick is going to be... I'm going to go with Netrunner.
That's a good choice.
And I solely am picking Netrunner first in an attempt to get both of my number one picks. Because I don't think Parker would have picked the other pick I have, but I know he probably would have had Netrunner on his list.
Yeah, it's on here.
So Netrunner, for people that don't know, is a asymmetrical card game in which you play against your opponent, and the two roles are there's a corp where you basically play evil organization trying to develop new technologies, and the game is designed to feel like you're fighting in cyberspace. And so when you put cards into play, it's called installing them into servers, and then you can put down firewalls and ice is what they call it to protect your servers from the other player, who's called the runner. And the runner is trying to access your servers to gain the proprietary information and then sell it on the black market. And so you play once as each role, and then the highest score differential wins the game. It is extremely fun and very interesting. It's the only asymmetrical card game I've ever seen.
It is, if this isn't a vouch for this game, it is one of 2 TCGs that I didn't give away during my big basement blowout when it flooded, because I was just like, this is worth keeping, even though It's an LCG, and I don't know when I'll play it again. It's still worth keeping. It's that good.
I'm actually kind of in the mindset where I think I should get my stuff out so we can play it casually occasionally, and then also I've considered buying some of the new stuff for it as well. I don't know if you knew, but there's successor options to keep playing Netrunner.
Really? I know I didn't.
They're all fan based as well, and so they're basically semi free to play. But yeah, cool. People are making fan made stuff, and there's also like a community cultivating the cards. That's all right, cool. So Parker, you get 2 picks.
First one has to be the very first card game I ever dove headfirst over hills is Legend of the Five Rings. This is the first card game I ever where I was introduced to the concept of bulk and the concept of a binder and trading. Love it. Second one has to be the first game that I was ever like, wait a minute, you don't have to play just, play my dude, beat your dude, and that's the Lord of the Rings TCG. It was the one where you quested and there's so much. There's like 5 Lord of the Rings TCGs, but this is the one.
There's a lot
where you one side. It was asymmetrical also. One side would quest, and the other side would be the monster guys who would stop you from questing. It was really fun, and I looked on
it. The Decipher one?
What?
The Decipher one?
I don't know who made it.
Is it the Lord of the Rings, the trading card game?
Yeah, it's the TCG. Yeah.
Did you create Shadow, and then the Shadow player would use the Shadow against you?
Sounds right.
I don't think we're.
That's it.
You played this game and never told me?
Yeah.
I definitely talked to. I still have all my cards.
Really?
I think you should talk to
I've got
CJ.
a lot of cards.
CJ played that one too.
Yeah.
That game was a ton of fucking fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and like your ring bearer, if he got assigned to combat, would gain burdens. And then if you could, No, I have multiple decks built for that right now.
Oh, that's so cool. I really enjoyed that game. So those are my first 2. I picked my first 2, like when I think back in my life, like which 2 really stand out. Those 2 really stand out.
All right. So that's me. I'm going to go with UFS, Universal Fighting System, or also known as it was rebranded Universus. Universus is a generic format game that is meant to adapt to different IPs. And so originally the concept was they would do fighting video games versus each other. And the first set was Street Fighter versus Soul Calibur. So Street Fighter 2 characters and Soul Calibur 3 characters. And you would just fight each other. And so you play like Sagat versus, like Talik or Kalik. And you just fight each other. Instead of like you summoning monsters like most card games and the monsters fight each other, you're actually fighting the other person. And so you have hit points and your character has a hand size. So depending on your hand size and hit points, you would choose different characters. And then the card pool, every card has 3 symbols on it. There's 12 symbols in the game. And so Sagat is like air and earth. That was like his combo. And then his third symbol is usually something that's kind of flavored towards that specific character, because you would have multiple versions of the same person. There's like 5 different Sagats, for example. And so fire has different aspects it does. And so all the fire cards in the game would be like leaning towards that strategy. And so if Kalik is both water and air and Sagat is air and earth, I could play all the same cards in Sagat under the air symbol and you could play them in the Kalik deck. And so there was a lot of overlap between characters packages that you could do really cool deck building stuff. Like, I'm going to use this character's package, combine it with this other character's package, create something new. And so that was really fun. It's still my favorite card game of all time. But I think the best design card game I've ever played is still Netrunner. I enjoy UFS more. All right, Josh, you got 2 in a row, buddy.
Okay. I have a question. If the game is a digital card game, is that still allowed?
That's a Parker question. If you're trying to say Hearthstone.
I am trying to say Hearthstone.
Yeah. I assume Parker's okay with it.
It is a card game. You did not say physical card game.
Interesting.
I don't see why you wouldn't say yes. I mean,
I don't think
that was the intent, but it's still a card game.
Yeah, so I'll call it. Yeah, you go ahead.
I say Hearthstone. I loved Hearthstone greatly. I played it all the time, and then it got very pay to win, so I no longer participate. But
yeah, welcome to card games.
Yes, I have very fond memories of doing nonsense in that.
All right, what's your final pick?
This will, I guess, will have to be a Parker question as well.
Good God.
Slapjack. Slapjack is a card game played with a standard deck of cards.
Yeah, that's just the one where you hit the deck, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that absolutely counts. Why would that count?
Slapjack. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I like Slapjack because it's very fun to play with children because they get really excited about it, and they just you can just I do it to my nephews. I just juke them out constantly, and they're terrible at it, but it is fun.
You see, and that is the reason why I didn't want to say anything until you brought up children. That's the reason why I fucking hate reflex card games with children.
Yeah,
because they only get really upset. And as a parent, anytime my kid is like, "Let's do this game," and I go, "Is it a reflex game?" And they even know what that is. They go, "Yeah." Then I go, "No, I'm not playing with you. You guys can go make each other cry over there in the corner."
I'm just the uncle.
It always ends in tears. It never.
Well, that's because you will never let anyone win.
No, that's not what it is. It's even if I didn't, right? Even if I just totally hands off and let my oldest would clobber the youngest, or my youngest would cheat. Like for some reason, a reflex card game. Like, it never ends up with children being happy. Some child is going to start crying or get mad, start pulling hair.
You playing one of your kids, you could just let them win and they would be happy.
Yes, that's fine. But that's typically not how you play those kind of games.
Right,
it's
right.
like a
it's
group
generally
game.
More people. Yeah.
It's not a head-to-head game, typically.
Okay. I'm going to do my final pick of Warlord.
Wait, isn't it my pick?
No.
Oh, you're right. I was not. Yeah. I was first place.
See, this is a good example of trying to cheat.
Yeah, but I
People
actually
at home,
just
don't do that.
I'm never the last. Go ahead.
So Warlord is my pick. It's kind of based on D&D, but it's also meant to mimic mass combat. And so I know that's kind of like two completely different concepts, but the game is based on each person has a warlord. First person to kill the other person's warlord wins the game. You start with 6 characters in play. Each character card is a character, or an equipment, or an action card. So it's based on only 3 types of cards. Your front rank is 3 level 1 characters. Your second rank, which is lined up behind that, is 2 level 2 characters. And then your warlord goes in the third rank by themselves. So you have 6 characters forming a kind of a pyramid. Your opponent sets up opposite you with their front rank facing your front rank. So your 2 front ranks are pressed against each other. The reason it mimics D&D is it has classes like D&D, and everything that you do requires you to roll a d20. So if my level 1 character attacks your level 1 character, I roll a d20. I add my character's attack bonus. I'm trying to hit your character's AC, which is your armor class. If I succeed, you take 1 damage. That's it. That's basically the game. Mm-hmm. At no point in the game can you have more characters in a high rank than the rank in front of it. So if my second rank has 4 characters in it, my front rank has 3, I have to correct ranks, which means I have to move one of my second rank characters into the first rank. When you do that, you tap them, or it's called exhaust. If you're already exhausted and you are forced to correct ranks, you exert, which is you turn the card completely 180 degrees upside down. If you are forced to correct ranks while exerted, you take a damage. And so let's say they call it like the power I have a line of like 5 ranks deep that are each 1 character. You put to play a level 6 character because level 6 characters are badass. And so they're like dragon lords and shit like that just will wipe out the battlefield by themselves. But you have to build backwards to get a space to where you can play a level 6 character. And then you go to slide it forward and it just keeps falling and it takes damage on the way up. So to prevent you from doing that, you would just you would have to build out actual ranks and then slowly move them to the front of your army. It was a really fun game because it's very thematic. And the concept of having ranks and everything and being able to like attach equipment to people. Like some of the warlords you would have would be wizards, and so you can play spell action cards. So like you can play Fireball, and you get to cast a Fireball into your opponent's army, or like Lightning Bolt, and it chains to different people. Or you could be a fighter and just equip all this badass war gear, and you go up to the front, you have like 6 attacks, and you start cleaving through ranks of people. It was really fun. Anyway, that game was made by AEG back in the day, and I think it is dead now.
That does sound pretty fun, though.
That is cool.
Super fun.
I heard about it a lot because playing Legend of the Five Rings, another AEG game, like I absolutely
it gets compared a lot. I bet.
Yeah. It's similar, but AEG was L5R was using locations instead of like armies, but it was similar concept.
Yes. Okay. Parker, you can now go since it is your turn.
I have a Sophie's choice here. I really want to say like 3 different options, but
if what you say doesn't have "of the" in it, it's disqualified.
None of them do. No,
you're fired.
Disqualified. We're gonna go with my newest love that I'm really intrigued by as a concept. I'm gonna go by Flesh and Blood.
Flesh of the Blood.
Yeah, Flesh of the Blood.
I think it's Fleshing Blood. That's
Flesh and Blood.
Fun fact: Flesh and Blood is definitely based on UFS. So fuck you.
Flesh and Blood is the only reason why I'm excited about it, and I put it like in its own little category above others. Is I'm really intrigued by their concept of how they're sunsetting cards and how they cycle cards. I think it's a really interesting thing because my least favorite thing about all trading card games, even though I love all trading card games, my least favorite thing is that eventually the way that I interact with all games, which is at tournament, just I'll have cards that become functionally just cardboard, and they can be collected. I get it, and some people might want them, sure, but I don't. I don't give a fuck if it can't be played at the tournament setting, and so I think it's interesting that I'll be able to play a TCG that, as long as the game stays the way it is now, I can buy a card and then expect to be able to play it ad nauseum at tournament, which I think is really interesting. There's drawbacks to that, but philosophically, for me, it's a huge draw.
Yeah. All right. Any honorable mentions from you guys?
Cards Against Humanity.
A really close one for me was actually another just a regular card game is Hearts. Like, of all the ways to just use a basic pack of cards, I think Hearts is so much fucking fun.
Hearts is good.
I think anyone who like wants to take out a card and do something else, I go, why aren't we just playing Hearts? Hearts is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to shout out my very first card game I ever touched with my hands. This is an old one. Does anyone ever heard of Magi Nation? Have you ever heard of this game?
No.
Yeah. Guess who has a huge set of Magi Nation, Brandon? Guess who in our life? No.
Oh,
no.
Dave.
Dave. It's Dave.
I thought you were saying you did. Yeah, no, 100% Dave. If I had to pick one person. Yeah, it's Dave.
Yeah. But Magi Nation was the very first game that introduced me to even the idea of a competitive card game that wasn't like a deck of cards, right?
Yeah.
That was the very first one that ever did it. And I don't know if it's a really strong game, but man, I spent so much time, like my sophomore and junior year of high school, just poring over this like little starter deck I had of Magi Nation. That one.
Yeah. So outside of the casino games like Blackjack and Texas Hold'em, which are fun, but only fun when you're really gambling, I would like to shout out a game called Bonanza. It is hands down, far and away, the singular best bean farming game I've ever played.
Yeah.
I defy anyone else to find one better. If your game is centered solely around farming beans, I defy you to make a better game.
Yeah. I also really enjoyed Love Letter. Love Letter's good.
I've never played it.
It's good. Another game kind of like Love Letter, very, very similar, that just plays the cards, is Coup. I enjoyed Coup.
I did not like Coup. It's fine. I don't like a lot of those, like they're not political, but they're like role-based games where it's like you get like a role and then you're trying to be socially political with other people about what role you have at any particular time. I don't know, I just don't find them that enjoyable.
So you wouldn't like Secret Hitler?
Secret Hitler is different because your roles don't change.
Okay.
And the rounds, it's because Secret Hitler, there's actually stuff that can be accomplished by having discussion with other players. As where, I don't know if you've ever played Werewolf, Josh. Okay, so Werewolf was originally designed as a social experiment. Imagine you have a group of like 10 people, and it's a game where everyone sits in a circle. You cover your eyes, and then the werewolves uncover their eyes, see who the other werewolves are, and then decide to kill somebody in the group. That person's out of the game. Then everybody wakes up, and then they argue about who's the werewolf. But the point is that you have no information.
Oh, right? Gotcha.
And so you're arguing based off of no information, and you're just guessing. And so the social experiment was designed to show how an informed minority will almost always beat a uninformed majority. But what actually happens in the game is a lot of people get drunk and just scream over each other.
Yeah.
And so it's not really a fun game unless you're just trying to be around other drunk people, which is fine. It is a somewhat fun game. And then there's an alternate of it called One Night Werewolf, where instead of doing that a bunch of times, everyone has a unique role. So you're like a witch doctor or a chemist or a werewolf or a marshal, or everyone has a role. And then every role gets to do something. There is nobody does something, basically. And so and then you use your phone app and it tells everyone to wake up at a specific time, do their thing. And so based on what information you give out, you can actually reverse engineer exactly what happened. But in One Night Werewolf, you trade role cards as part of the events. And so you might have started as a werewolf, but then the Fate Weaver switched your card with the town sheriff. So now you're the sheriff, even though you killed somebody as a werewolf. And it's because of that, you have to be careful how much information you give out, because as all the info comes out, it will become obvious who the winner should be, and then you just turn on each other. So in a game like Coup, it's just constantly changing and different, and so it just kind of ends up being the person who is most experienced in that game will beat new players constantly.
Yeah.
And so because it's a group game, you commonly have new players. And so you just basically have one experienced person feasting on all the new players. And they just become in control of the game. And I don't really like that.
That's understandable.
Yeah. That's just been my experience of it. I'm sure there's some that aren't like that. It's just not an experience I like having. And so many of those games are either scream over other people to get your way, or just manipulate people because they don't really understand what's happening. And that happens in most of those social type games. As far as Munchkin, why aren't you just playing a good game, Josh?
Because I had a buddy play Munchkin in high school, and I really liked it. And then I bought myself a set and went off to college, and I was very briefly in a fraternity. And so
so it's a drunk game, right?
Yeah. And so it's
a game that everyone
fun.
Can understand enough to play while completely obliterated.
Yes, and it's just
and
like
those
super
are not
fun,
games I like to play.
Super fun to backstab people and do all that, and then they came out with like sets of like stuff that I like, and I was like,
there's
cool.
So many.
And so I'll do that occasionally where I'll go hang out with my brothers, and I'll bring over like, I think I have 8, maybe 9. I think I'd have to go count. But I'll go bring over like 4, and we'll just sit and play Munchkin for like an hour and a half and just hang out and do stuff together. And it doesn't require, we can always bring in the sister-in-laws and stuff, because it doesn't take much teaching for anybody. And generally we always have someone new around. It's like, cool, you know, play this game. So
it is easy to pick up.
Is it like,
a
intellectually satisfying game? No. But can you just sit and like play nonsense and backstab someone for lulz and there's no consequences? Yes. So
the reason I dislike games like Munchkin is because if the goal is to actually win, which it's not if you're playing with drunk people or kids, right? Like those are the two exceptions.
Yeah.
Then in that example, it's just like you're not trying to win, or you're trying to look like you're not winning while trying to win. And it's just like, you basically just wait until everyone's out of backstab cards, and then the next person to go wins the game.
I will say
it's basically a lottery more than a game.
At one point, and you can only really do this with one deck, but at one point I was playing Munchkin so often with friends in college that we had hit like, a buddy and I could card count, and we just had all of the cards memorized. We could see what people had, and we'd be like, okay, these are the cards left in the deck. And then we would just freaking card count down against each other to see who could get off some stupid wombo combo to win. Because that is a game like, there's one card called Divine Intervention where clerics gain a level, but if you draw it, you have to play it right away. But if it starts in your hand, you don't have to play it right away. And so you can just sit there, and I'm sure you would hate this, but you could sit there and go level 6, be like, cool. Level 7, 8, 9, bam, Divine Intervention, 10, I win. Just out of nowhere.
Any other honorable mentions, Parker?
Oh, I think I did. I'm gonna give out an honorable mention to my family because slowly but surely they're all getting into TCGs. Even my wife now, and it's happened through. And I know these games are not strong, but they are really good for exactly this. It's kind of like Munchkin, right? Munchkin's kind of like a portal into LCGs. But they're both now. Everyone in my family is playing either Pokemon or Lorcana because the IP is accessible and it's fun, and the game is cheap and accessible. And so, just shout out to those card games. They're definitely honorable mentions because they do allow people to get into games when they're younger or very inexperienced with it. It is fun watching my wife learn about concepts like booster boxes. Like she's just like she hears these words because she's watching videos and stuff about building, and she goes, "What is an engine?" They keep using this word engine, and I'm like, let me tell you what an engine is. Like they just common terms. I have not realized, or I did not realize how much I knew about TCGs and their collective nomenclature until I'm watching my wife, as an adult, trying to digest this stuff. Because I think I learned Lorcana in less than 3 minutes, everything about it, and it's taken her.
Because you've seen that mechanic so many times.
Right.
Yeah. I can't even believe, it sounds so ridiculous if I was to just sit down with your wife or somebody else who has no experience with card games and explain the logic process of a CCG to them. They would lose their fucking minds. All right, hear me out. This company, months and months in advance, has to come up with mechanics for all these cards, 180 cards at a time. Then they have to hire artists to make artwork for the cards, right? And then they proof all of them, they put them on these sheets, and they print them. Then they have to have this cutting machine that cuts them up, right? And you're like, oh, this all makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. And then they have to put millions of dollars of research and effort into these card sorting machines that can sort the cards and randomize them. And you're like, what? Why? It's like, oh, because see, we're not going to sell them in convenient amounts. We're going to sell them in booster packs, which are totally random. But we need to make sure the correct amount of each type of card gets in here in the proper ratios with the proper drop rates. And so we have to have this incredibly complex algorithm and then print all these cards and sort them. But we have to sort them without damaging them because some of these cards are going to be extremely valuable, and then when I get them graded, if there's a single tiny scratch on the back of one of them, that's a fail. We've messed up. So you have to have this machine that sorts cards into random piles without damaging them or scuffing them in any way. But then we have to machine that bags them.
Yeah, it's sort of random because you have to still guarantee, because if you want people to buy a booster box eventually, you don't want there to be a possibility of zero rare cards. So you have to have some chance, but it has to be random. So which one? It's so bizarre.
If you look at it, crazy. The typical Magic booster box for a long time, this is way back in the day, is it's 36 packs, 1 rare per pack, and 6 of those 36 rares need to be a mythical rare. And she's like, well, that is that hard. It's like, yeah, but they have to be random. You can't just make it every 6th card is a mythic on the print sheet. Right. It has to be random and unseeded. And it also has to be to where no matter where you cut the box quantity off, that 36 will have 6 mythics in it. And you're like, okay, well, that's kind of it. It's but then we're also going to introduce foils and then serialize all this other stupid shit. And you're like, and then they came out with set boosters, which are okay, well, now we're going to have maybe up to 4 rares per pack, but still have to sort it like it's a regular pack. Oh my god, it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna seal them in these little vacuum sealed bags and then put them in individual boxes. Put 6 of those boxes in a case. Put 120 of those on a pallet and then ship them to random warehouses. And then all these different game stores will buy them from these random warehouses. They'll get them in the store. Some of them will get opened up for random supply, and then people will buy an amount of these regular boosters, then open them, and then just unrandomize them back to what the state they were originally in.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Unrandomize them.
Because that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing all of this. They're putting hours and hours and hours and millions of dollars of effort into randomizing these cards just so we can pay money to unrandomize them.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest shit ever. And as soon as anyone's ever played an LCG one time, they go, what have I been doing?
Yeah.
It's so stupid. And so, yeah, explaining it to a normie that doesn't understand card games at all, there's like, why would you ever do that?
But here's the thing. I've started to like make that process happen. Just today, she was talking about going back and buying other products, and I had to like kind of like hold pump the brakes. This is what you're actually looking at, and started to barely tease that, right? And but she just really enjoyed the game. Like, she played the game and she really enjoyed it. She wants to play this game. And if the model, that the only way to interact with this game is this model, she was, at that moment at least, totally willing to jump into that model. Because she wanted to play Lorcana. That's what she wanted to do. And she's been, I would say, intensely intrigued for the past like 72 hours since she played her first game with my daughter. And now she played a game with me because she wanted to learn more, because she's like, you actually know what's going on. I want to like to play you. And I was like, okay. But yeah, that's how people end up with, giant boxes of bulk and shit in their basement, just because they go, okay, well, I want to play this game, so this is how I interact with it. But you're right. What you're doing is exactly organizing something that was specifically disorganized.
Right. Because you just think about it as like, no matter what they charge for an LCG pack, which is, if anyone doesn't know, Netrunner was an LCG, living card game is what it's referred to as, but instead of buying randomized booster packs when a new expansion comes out, which used to be like once a month or once a quarter would usually be when the packs would come out. They would usually cost about $15, and they would have about 12 new cards in them. And then you would get a full playset of every card in the pack. So when you bought it, you would get, like, if it was a 3 of game, you get 3 of every rare, 3 of every uncommon, 3 of every common for $15. You just get a playset of every card. And then if you wanted multiple playsets, you would just buy multiple packs. And that was it. You would just buy 2 deck quantity you would want of everything. And that was it. And it comes sorted. It's like, it's not like you fucking randomized for no reason.
Right.
And it's like, as soon as you experience that once, you're like, oh, wow. And then you just get out a little card divider and you drop it in and you go, all right, this is set 12. And you just drop in your pack of 36 cards. You're like, guess I'm sorted. You're like,
yep.
So stupid. Oh.
But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but in terms of all the different card games, LCGs are a much smaller portion of the market, right? Like,
oh yeah, way smaller. And the logic behind it for the longest time is, oh well, they make so much more money printing all these extra cards. Like, well, yeah, they do, but their cost is also way higher because of all the stuff we just talked about. Like, they have to do their sorting, all the like the foil prints and everything, all the extra work they have to do. Because when you think about it, like, how much of a booster box is basically going directly in the trash once you buy it? Like, you don't need 35 copies of every common. Like, you barely need 4. Like, most of the commons you get are completely worthless. It's like uncommons are usually where it's at for like bulk stuff. Like, the majority of your deck's probably going to be uncommons, and then a handful of rare staples. But the rares are usually color specific and like strategy specific that you don't need a ton of them beyond a playset. Like, obviously there'll be like rare lands that go in like almost every deck, and those will be hugely sought after. But so it's like, yeah, like the cost of like FFGs to put a little data pack out for Netrunner, which is like 36.50 cards, it cost them like $3, and like versus like the cost to produce a fully done booster box of Magic cards, like it's got to be like $15-$20 at least, I would think. Like, just the number of cards plus the labor of putting all that shit together, it's got to be something. But anyway, it is just surprising to me. It's like, even if they charge $50 for a data pack, like, who cares? It's still way cheaper than a CCG and way less effort. It's like, I would pay $50 a pack, like, if that's what it took. Like, $1 a card is not prohibitive to me, because guess what the current fucking cards are going for?
Yeah.
All right, so a Final Fantasy collector's booster box, Parker, how much do you think it sells for?
Collector's booster box.
This is a collector box, so it's like the fancy one.
Final Fantasy. I'm gonna say I'm gonna pick a number that makes sense for a Magic limited condition anything. $800.
Okay, so it's 12 packs of 15-ish cards. So it's like 180 to 200 cards It cost current market price is about $1,400.
Jesus, titty fucking Christ! Oh my god!
180 divided by 1,400 is
that's actually lower than what I thought it'd be. But
that's about $775 a card, and like people were buying it. People are buying it. That's why the market price is what it is. That's what they're buying it at. And admittedly, a lot of them sold for like under 1,000, but within like 2 weeks, within a week, they were over 1,000. So it's like you're paying $1,000 for less than 200 cards, and like people are saying, it's like, well, you wouldn't buy a data pack for $50. Like, fuck yeah, you would. Like, anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up because we're way over on time.
Yeah,
we have another podcast to do. But thank you for tuning in, everybody. I will leave you with this anecdote of Parker. Mm-hmm. Did I ever tell you that my grandfather lost his feet in the war? He came back defeated.
That was cool.
I didn't know what that was going to be, but I really liked it. That was good.
Okay, good. All right. I'll see you everybody next time. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Brandon.
And Parker.
And Josh.
And you just listened to Flesh of the Blood.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.